we have to get acquainted because we have two rooms, physical room and a virtual room, and you have to be connected so that we conduct this academic activity. We are here in Rwanda, Kigali Convention Center, AD10. AD10. We are here present physically and remotely. Those who are present physically, first of all, I'm Dr. Kizimana Lucien. I come from the University of Technology and Arts of Byumba. We are with the attendees from the University of Oldenburg, the University of Dar es Salaam, the University from South Africa. So others, they are joining us. Virtually, we have a good audience. We don't ask everyone to introduce himself or herself, but we can, before to present, they have to present themselves. So I can ask if the presenter of the following topic, if he or she is available for the presentation, design and development of at-birth detection and monitoring digital system for children born with Down syndrome in Rwanda. The presenter, the first author is Jean-Claude Habimana. Is Jean-Claude Habimana available for the presentation? Yes, I see. It seems that he's available. The tech team can connect him so that he starts the presentation.
Do you see my screen? Hello? I hope you see my screen.
Yes, we are seeing it.
tools that those can be used directly at birth so that that case can be detected early, and that leads to lack of health healthcare interventions so that that person who is born with that case can grow successfully. We came up with digital solution where we developed the web-based system that can be used at low-level health care facilities so that a healthcare provider at birth time can report the case on the child he suspects to have the features we talked about, the physical features, and then transfer him or her to district hospital so that the follow-up and care can be provided to that one. For just identifying the gap, we reviewed the existing works and mainly the other works related to this topic. We found that they do not address well the monitoring progress of the suspected case or detected case of Down syndrome, and some of them did not provide the way of early detecting that case. Relating to our work, mainly the way we implemented the system, it will be used from low-level health facilities where mostly the delivery takes place. A healthcare provider like a nurse, a midwife, or someone else who at birth time, he can check physical features of a newborn, and if he finds he's suspecting him or her to have Down syndrome, he directly record in the form we dropped, reporting that suspected. Arriving at district hospital as like the second level of healthcare facilities in Uganda, they will receive the reported case. They will do some tests, some basic tests, and by confirming them also they are still suspecting that case, they will then transfer to a referral hospital. And they continuously by reporting the progress till the child with the case becomes able to attend the school and perform other tasks, their tasks. As I was talking on that, our system has those different users. Some users at the health center level, the one who will report the suspected case, users at the district hospital who will perform basic tests and then refer, if necessary, then to referral hospital, and the users at referral hospital, the specialists who will perform the test and give the results, and then refer back to district hospital where the intervention and the treatments would be held, and then the physiotherapists at this hospital who will perform sessions of taking care of that patient. To achieve this, we followed a methodology. First of all, we conducted the quantitative study where we're really making a feasibility study, knowing whether really healthcare providers can accept that, can have adequate resources to use this system. And we worked with in educations under the health facilities under the catchment area of Rwanda Military Hospital and the Serashika, and we conducted among people who interact with newborns midwife, nurses, and physio and therapists and the pediatrics. To find the number of participants, we use the Slovenese formula, and then we use agile model, which is flexible due to its flexibility, removing the requirements which is suitable for development of such systems. And then by implementing the solution, we use it, those technology from front end, digital aspect from back end, and then for the security and the privacy of those cache data, we implemented the end-to-end data encryption for data transfer. Good. And then after that methodology, we come up with the results. These are the results from the feasibility analysis, where among our respondents, participants, we found that 97.5 of them are under 45, only 98 of them and above have smartphones. Not only that, at their workplace, they have also at the level of 96, they have access to computer and the internet access at 99, which this shows us that it's really a suitable environment where we can implement our system. We found that our system can really be used to help the community. Then we developed the system. We are based on the flow I described above. We have, of course, authentication and authorization, because we have different users. We have a login form where every user will have to provide credentials, and then at the health center level, we have a form, a multi-step form that where he will report the new suspected case. At the district hospital, they will fund the case, and then the link that will allow them to add some observations at district, and then we transfer to the fellow hospital. And then here is the list of reported cases, and at the same at the referral hospital, the specialists will be also able to find a list of reported cases from, and when the case was already referred from BH, we have the way of details where we find the details of reported case, and then a way of providing the test. And record the different sessions and even report the progress. Okay.
Try to repeat. You are only 3 minutes.
Where we find the reported cases,
Yes, Imana, 3 minutes only are remaining.
what can be used just the same.
Thank you very much, dear Habimana. If we can have some questions for those who are following us remotely or those who are present here present, I think this is the moment to ask the questions. 3 questions are allowed, and then we go ahead with the other presentations. Any question? Any question to Haiman after his presentation? Yes, I don't see any question to Habimana, but I can ask myself one question. The results you expect some challenges in implementation. Can you hear us? Habimana, can you hear us? Yes, please. For the mitigation. Okay, thank you. We appreciate your presentation. We clap for you. Let's follow with the presentation of Anas Bayaga, effectiveness of artificial intelligence-based teaching methods in STEAM education, use of concrete and symbolic games for enhancing conceptual understanding. You have only 10 minutes for the presentation, don't go beyond, and later we shall ask you some questions. Please start. Only 1 minute is remaining. 1 minute is remaining. Okay, thank you, the presenter. Thank you. Now we can ask you some questions. The first question I can ask before others can ask their questions. I'd like that you highlight once again the novelty of your research, if it is there. Highlight it, linking it to the ICT.
It again.
I'd like that you highlight once again the novelty of your research, and then you link it to ICT or emerging technologies. Okay, thank you very much. If there is another question from remote audience or physical audience, the question can be asked. Okay, here there is a question.
Thank you so much, presenter. We really enjoyed your promising approach in education, especially STEM. Now I would like to ask you the applicability of the theory you've proposed. Do you think this will be easier to be accessible in most of schools, especially in East Africa, where some countries are still in their way of development? Wouldn't it be very expensive and not applicable in many schools? So how do you think this is going to be applicable?
Thank you, presenter. Now time is up. Let's follow the other presentation from the same presenter, maybe Anas Bayaga. The topic is enhancing cognition of students with visual impairments via human-computer interface blueprint for SDG 4. Start the other presentation.
Good morning.
Thank you. Somebody please confirm for me if you do see my screen. Thank you.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Okay. All right. As I've been introduced by my supervisor, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lihle and I am a PhD candidate at the Nelson Mandela University from South Africa. And I'm presenting the work that I'm working with my supervisor under the guidance of my supervisor. And our work has to do with the addressing of inclusivity in South African Tibet colleges via the project Enhancing Cognition of Students with Visual Impairments through JAWS. So it's basically a systematic review. Before I can even move further, I think it's good that I highlight the keywords here, that is students with visual impairments. Usually the term that is commonly used is students that are blind, but to be politically correct, we're using the term students with visual impairments because we recognize their impairment. And also the second word is JAWS, and JAWS stands for Job Access with Speech, which is a software that is a screen reader for students with visual impairments. So it is, in other words, it is an assistive technology. And also TVET College Education Training Centers. So out of a better way that we could address this, or we could write the topic to avoid being very lengthy and without running away from the keywords, we felt it's okay that we abbreviate the word JAWS. As I've mentioned, that our intention is to address the gradual implementation of inclusive education as supported by the writers that I've mentioned here, that is the inclusive education writers. Our objective was to examine, we had 3 objectives, that is to examine the role of JAWS in the education of students with visual impairment, particularly in the subject computer practice. Also to examine the efficiencies of it, to analyze the alignment and transformation of teaching with digital reforms, considering the nowadays or the 21st century work demand. Before we continue, let me share a little bit of a background. Although there's so much text that can overwhelm you, I'll just summarize quickly. Let me give you a little bit of a background of where we're coming from with inclusive education in South Africa. Though it was introduced 2 decades ago, the attention has been in schools and university, and there hasn't been much attention in TVET colleges. And unfortunately, also, there hasn't been much scholarly attention, particularly in TVET colleges, regarding the use of assistive technologies. Besides the general laments that we get from school and universities, we felt that it's important that we talk about particularly the efficiencies of teachers in transferring the technological skills to students with visual impairments. That's where our main focus is, and we believe that that is the main problem with the implementation of inclusive education. As much as issues of infrastructure and attitudes and all that has been spoken lengthily 10 years ago about schools and universities, we felt that it's important that we address now, talking about the practicality, the actual use of educational assistive technologies. So the TVETs, just to give you a background, has been identified by the South African government as an asset to close the vocational skills gap, hopefully to decrease unemployment in illiteracy in South Africa. But in fact, not only in South Africa, all over the world, but our focus currently is in South Africa, particularly the rural TVET colleges in South Africa. So that means that TVET colleges are expected to be in line with the education and training reforms which drive transformation in societies and industries. And for that, the TVET colleges have seen the need to welcome educational access of those students that have, or people that are not in education, employment, and training. And our focus right now that includes students with visual impairments, because according to research, it shows that there is a high number of students that are with the visual impairments that are still not in school, not in employment, not in training. So the availability of JAWS and other related screen readers have given TVET institution a chance to attempt to minimize inequalities. I'm saying attempts because though it's been introduced two decades ago, we're still battling. So to minimize inequalities in educational access in terms of acceptance, the mere acceptance of students, also to minimize inequalities in curriculum access, that is to give students chances to choose courses of their choices, unlike what is happening right now. They are research shows that students are given specific courses that institutions believe are courses that students can take. They cannot take courses that they want, courses such as STEM. I'm just making an example particularly because we're talking about computer practice that we believe falls under STEM. Also to minimize inequalities in terms of knowledge access. What do we mean by knowledge access? We're saying the mere accessing of students in TVETs in the classroom means nothing if students the manuscript science, which cannot be read by JAWS. I'm talking about manuscript science. It's unfortunate that I don't have a slide that shows an example of manuscript signs. So manuscript signs are handwritten signs on the textbooks, on the question papers that JAWS cannot read, considering that JAWS needs to convert students' text for it to be accessible to a student.
Yes, can you move your slides, please?
I hear somebody talking, please. Is it time?
We cannot see your slides. Move.
Oh, you cannot see my slide?
Yes, scroll them.
It's right there. Okay, let me try again. I wonder why. Let me stop sharing and try sharing again. Is it only now or it's been like that the whole time?
I can see your slides.
You can see my slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Chairperson, do you allow me to continue? If you cannot see my slide.
As quick as possible because 1 minute is remaining.
Oh, 1 minute is remaining. Interesting. So that means that we want to welcome any questions, but questions will be welcome after the paper has been presented. You can send me questions via emails. Thank you. Let me continue. So what is important is that teaching of computer practice can be very difficult, especially when you're teaching students with visual impairments. This is because computer practice is an application-based subject. It requires a lot of time for real practice. And due to time factors, educators tend to resort to traditional one-way communication. That is, they give instructions to students, and students with visual impairments find it difficult now to participate in class. And again, teachers do that because they don't have any other options, because they don't know what else they can do. They only use the approaches that they know of, that they use to students without any visual impairments. And again, it's because of lack of inclusive practices. And why do they lack? Because they don't have those skills. Hence, this work that we're doing right now. And again, because of shortages of skills, not only TVET colleges, other
Okay, thank you for the presentation, dear presenter. Now I have one question to ask you before others can ask their questions, of course. The question I have regarding to your research, I see that you have focused on one variable of the theme which was to be developed. I'd like to ask you how you can locate your research in at least one among the sub-themes of this conference.
Well, would you like to repeat your question, please?
Yes, I was seeing that you have focused on at least on one variable of the theme of the conference, sustainability, sustainable development, okay, SDG. And I'd like to ask you to locate your research in one among the sub-themes, because your background, of course, is in ICT.
I will give you a response, though I'm not sure if I'm getting your question correctly. But you're saying that you realize that I'm focusing on one SSGD, that is goal 4. That has to do, am I getting you correctly? That has to do with equitable education. Is that what we're talking about?
Passing through your abstract, I see that it seems that you have focused on one variable, and I'm asking you to locate well your research under one among the sub-themes of this conference.
Oh, okay. Oh, great question. In fact, I'm glad that you've just mentioned that. As much as we'd love to move, in fact, as much as we'd love to move very quickly and accelerate the education of students with visual impairment to nowadays language, it's important that we first address the basics. So right now we're talking about high tech, we're talking about mobile learning, we're talking about this and that, while in the TVET sector, we still have troubles, or we still have difficulties with the basics of technologies. So the beginning is just to address issues of the basis, that is JAWS, before we can even take it further. So to us, the language of high-tech, mobile technology is a nice to have, while, because we're still in our infancy period in terms of the implementation of inclusive education. Not only that, in terms of even understanding the basis or the basic technology or assistive technologies. So we are hoping that since the study is just the beginning, there hasn't been a study like this before, according to our knowledge, as we're doing a systematic research. So we're hoping that as time continues later, we'll then move further to other kinds of technologies, the relevant, the latest ones right now. Hence, our recommendation, if you look at the table at the bottom, it says we recommend that the department continues to
Okay,
provide.
thank you very much. Time is up. Let's move to another presenter. We congratulate you because of the questions that you are responding to, and because your paper has been accepted to be presented and to be published in spring. Let's move to another presenter. The following presenter is has the following topic: developing concepts for gamification approaches in transportation systems and sustainable urban development. If the presenter is ready, he or she can start the presentation.
Thank you. Are you seeing my screen?
So please, you can start.
Yeah. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, you can see it. Start, please.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Sridhar Kokkachedu from University of Oldenburg from Germany. I'm from the very large scale business application department under supervision of Os Maskomis. I'm going to present my paper, Developing Concepts for Gamification Approaches in Transportation Systems and Sustainable Urban Development. Here, I'm going to, coming to my agenda, in my presentation, I'm going to introduce about basic sustainable city development, and also why do we need gamification in sustainable urban development. I will also then I will introduce about gamification overview. For this, which methods I used for creating conceptual framework, and then later I validate with the empirical study this conceptual framework, and finally I will introduce about my results. Coming to introduction slide, here according to the survey, most of the successful governance, sustainable development through citizen participation. So according to the survey, like Germans mostly believe their trust in politics through their participation, and this boost community planning and reduce the administration cost, and government improve the government legitimacy. This can be citizen participation can be increased by digitalization through e-participation, so that they can also involve in governance policies. And then coming to problem statement, also here, like most why do we need this? Basically, we have insufficient progress in sustainable urban development, and also citizens lacks understanding of city planning and transport systems. This leads to gamification approaches. Hello, are you hearing me? Yeah, this leads to gamification approaches in this citizen participation in city development planning. through this, we motivate the citizens, educate the citizens, and as well as um, uh, we increase the citizen participation in the government planning. This is the statement. Like there are like gamification also. There are two different kind of gamification approaches are there. Like in serious games, like we are applying gamification elements to non-game constructs. Like above image is showing that is serious games, uh, and we have also another kind of games like for the um, fun. So but we are using serious games to increase the motivation and enhance the understanding of this sustainable city planning and transportation context. And finally, we increase the citizen participation in the city planning. Coming to methodology, this methodology, what methods I followed is like I interviewed three gamification experts and one from transportation system expert. And after interviewing, like I mainly this interview mainly focus on like what are the requirements we need um, for for this gamification approach, and what are the challenges we have, and we how can we implement this gamification approach, theoretical gamification approach in city development planning. This approach is um with online interviews, go through online interviews, went through online interviews and workshops and expert analysis. And after the interviews from experts, we find some key findings. Those are like gamification elements. What are the gamification elements we need to decide? We need to make it in the gamification approach. Like these should be engaged with the diverse citizens. Like we should be engaged all kind of ages of citizens, all age groups. And also we need to develop like coherent frameworks that can be well structured, well organized um, in gamification approach to achieve some goals, sustainable urban development goals. And the implementation phase, like uh, we also need to adapt to some specific use cases because it's like a general gamification approach. So we need to specify the specific to some use cases, and we also use effective use of resources. And the main challenges after we also got the like main challenges will be like user attention, maintain the user attention even after using this serious games. We have to maintain the user attention and simplify the complex interactions of transport systems and city development context. Although after these interviews, and then we developed on conceptual framework, theoretical conceptual framework. Uh, in this, like the we developed three phases: preparation and implementation, feedback. Um, in this preparation, we analyze the needs and design and transparency. In implementation, like we developed we how to develop this prototype and engage with how to engage. And later we also take the feedback so that we can refine this gamification approach. uh, this could be a computation design. I'm going to explain about computation design. This could be the in one application gamification approach application design uh, that should have login and registration so that everyone can access their own own data. And also there should be like more should also consider like data's privacy and for every users, the ethical considerations. And it should be also display the goals like in the profile, like goals, what should we achieve, in this in this game. And also we need to also show the progress what they have, so that they can uh, they can review themselves and do better in sustainable urban development planning. And the core features should be like this decision support, like integrated models and map representations. This could be involved in this gamification. And the last one is like feedback, like after gamification
Okay, thank you for the
have this.
presentation. Let us ask you some questions related to your presentation. Mine is about the field in which you conducted the research. According to me, it seems that your research is more oriented in social sciences. Can you explain how or what is linking your research to ICT or sub-themes of our theme?
Actually, it is mostly we are it is mostly digitalization for the sustainable urban development planning. This digitalization, this through gamification. That's why this link to ICTA-EMoS.
Any question in the audience? Yes. Yes, please.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. It's a very interesting topic. Can you maybe give an example scenario for the implementation of your framework and maybe some related work in this field?
Thank you for the question. Actually, we have presently we already have so many examples. Like presently, I'm working on a project in Mobile. There, we are already developed some gamification elements in sustainable urban development planning. There, like scoreboards, we have just used scoreboard to compare the score and increase the motivation for the citizens. And also we have also one example from Subodhaya city, like they used similar kind of approach to increase the citizen participation in city development planning, and they succeeded in it. And so these but yeah, these are the some Beispiel, these are the examples.
Okay, another question here. Yes.
Good day. Thank you for a good presentation. Can you tell me, can your gamification model be used in other areas that are more technical? Like, for example, developing or designing a train system? Thank you.
Yeah, this gamification approach, this is basically this gamification. My theoretical conceptual framework is made specifically aimed for citizen participation. This approaches could be used also for technical train systems, but we need to adjust. We can take this conceptual framework, but we need to readjust this one to train systems. But this can be useful also. This is a research. This research definitely useful for train systems, and but we need to readjust according to the system, train systems. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Let's follow go on with another presenter with the topic IoT-based system for maintaining constant tests. The presenter, if she, I see that it is Specious Ingabire, if she is ready, she can start the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, hello, you can start, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm Special Zingabire. I'm doing Masters in Embedded and Mobile System at ICTA. I'm here to present my research titled as an IoT-based system for maintaining a consistent taste of ginger-flavored alcohol. I am going to take you through background up to conclusion. Ginger is a plant growing from 1 to 3 feet. We all know ginger. We can use it in many aspects, like ginger can be used as a spice medicine and also can be used to produce different ginger beers. Beverage industry, especially here in Rwanda, plays a vital role in different sectors such as development of the country and job creation. But however, there is still a problem in producing consistent taste due to the variation of quality of ginger. And also there is no real time to react to the change in case it is needed. Also, some beverage industry recruit a person who need to go in the fermentation room and keep checking the status of beer, which takes time. Some related work has been done trying to solve these issues, but they not cover all angles. That's why I come with these solutions. As material and method, I used qualitative and quantitative in data collection, which is interviews, group discussion, because I wanted to hear the concerns and opinion of the users. Questionnaires are used during validation of the system. V model was chosen as software development because it is the best one. It helps to test any phase you have done. This is the block diagram, how the component integrated together to the main controllers, as you can see here, and also the schematic diagram, how they are connected together. This is the proposed solution, which composed with the monitoring unit will composed of some sensors and actuators. Sensor will collect data and send to microcontrollers. The data will be accessed by the user from the server and be stored into the database. This is the notification result where different condition will be sent to the operator. In case the temperature goes high or low, the message will be sent to the operator for intervention. This is the mobile application result where the user can monitor the production process and fermentation process remotely. They must have the credentials so that they can access this all information. The result from user acceptance, most of users are strongly agree to use this IoT system because it will help them to produce the good quality of ginger beer. This is the system visualization where the prototype has to put two inside the tank, for example, and the output will be this. As you can see, the temperature must be 28, alcohol 5, and pH can be 6 as the standard threshold parameter results. As a conclusion, an IoT-based and mobile application for monitoring and controlling production process were developed. Recommend the beverage industry system to enhance the production and efficiency. Also, to apply machine learning for advanced analytics to predict trends, optimize process, and good quality. Those are the reference. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation, and thank you also because you tried to summarize your results in a few minutes. I could ask you one question, and others, of course, can continue asking some questions because we are still in range of the time which was for you. The question that I have to ask you is about the challenges you can expect or predict in implementing the results of your research.
Okay, thank you for a good question. The challenge I was facing was to implement the new technology, which is IoT, to the beverage industry who are not familiar with those kind of technology, that was the one of the challenge I faced.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question? Yes, please. Dennis?
Yes, thank you for your very insightful presentation. Since this will help even small breweries a lot, are you already in contact with some like smaller breweries or even bigger ones that are interested maybe into implementing this technology?
Please.
Did you get your question?
No.
You can maybe repeat the question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Repeat again.
Yes, since this will help smaller breweries a lot if they can implement it, are you already in contact with maybe one or some small breweries who are interested in using your technology?
Yeah, if I may ask, the small beverage can use this technology, even the big one can also use it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, presenter. Let's move to another presentation. The topic is digitization of end-to-end value streams, conceptualizing data model based on complex graph networks for artificial intelligence-based tools. The presenter can start now. It is Mick. If he's ready, he can start.
Hello, can everyone see my screen?
Can you see the stream?
Okay, perfect. So, hello everyone. My name is Mick Geistert. I'm a PhD scholarship holder at the Institute for Production and Service Systems at Yale University of Applied Science in Wilhelmshaven, Germany, as well as a PhD candidate at the from Ossetsky University of Oldenburg. And I'm delighted to give you today some insights into my paper called Digitization of End-to-End Value Streams, Conceptualizing a Data Model Based on Complex Graph Networks for AI-Based Tools, which I co-authored in collaboration with Professor Lux Engel from Yale University of Applied Science, as well as Professor Jorge Max Gomez from the from University of Oldenburg. Let me initially give you a quick overview of my presentation. I will start with introducing you to the concept of value streams and its utilization in industrial production to drive improvement and foster sustainable development. Then I will present you my methodology as well as its implementation and my results. And I will end with a short summary and my next steps. So improvement teams in industrial settings are on duty to optimize value creation and eliminate waste and of course contribute to sustainable development. Thereby, their area of responsibility is the so-called production system, which consists regularly of a supplier or different suppliers, different processes, of course, a customer, and the overarching control and information flow. For example, in a pharmaceutical production, you have a supplier which supplies raw material, energy, active ingredients, etc. These ingredients are then compounded in preparation. Then in production, pills are pressed, for example, when it's like supplements or anything. In the end, everything is packed and in the end shipped to the customer. Thereby, of course, you have a control flow and an information flow which controls all these steps. Now, as an improvement team, you are trying to approximate these production systems using the concept of the end-to-end value stream, which you can see here on the right-hand side, whereby you're mapping the end-to-end process chains consisting of suppliers, different processes in inventories, including its material flow, ending with the customer. These value streams or end-to-end value streams are used or is a core component of industrial improvement in a method called value stream analysis and design, known from lean management. Within this method, initially an improvement team is formed and decides on a product or product family. Then it's visualizing these value stream or production systems with standardized value stream elements. Subsequently, different forms of wastes in the material flow or in the information flow are highlighted with so-called Kaizen bursts. Then these Kaizen bursts, or these obstacles, are addressed using value stream design guidelines, which are specific guidelines from research to optimize these production systems value stream pictures. And you are ending with a target value stream, which is some kind of an optimal picture of your production system which you want to implement. And yeah, thereby you are aiming for the North Star concept from the Toyota production systems, which consist of 0 defects, 100% value creation, one-piece flow, and of course, safety for the people. Now, of course, the world is changing. Nowadays, it's not enough to just think about times, lead times, how can I produce as fast as possible? We also need to consider resources, we need to consider costs. We need to think about how digital is my production systems, and we also need to think about external influences like geopolitical situation, aging workforce, and technology availability. And all these together are increasing data volumes and complexity in industry. Of course, some kind of triggering and change how improvement teams should work. Thereby, in modern production, improvement teams still use whiteboards and value stream elements to depict these value streams. So they are really using pen and paper approaches. And exactly this is what I am addressing within my research. Because my objective was to conceptualize a data model for digitalization of these end-to-end value streams. I wanted to have this data model being available for AI-based tools. So it needs to some kind of work, especially good or be especially conductive for AI-based tools. And in the end should be used to assist improvement teams in industry. Within my methodology, I utilize the domain knowledge of value stream analysis and design, and then conceptualize this data model based on graph theory, especially the theory of complex graph networks, which are also used in biology, for example, to transform elements into machine learning usable constructs, some kind of transfer this technology on value streams. And after that, I also thought about, okay, how can I use this new data model within a prospective AI application to assist improvement teams? In the end, I especially focused on what advantages my data model gives me, what limitations are there, and what are my implications for generalization. So on the left-hand side, we can see once again this traditional value stream, which is on a whiteboard traditionally drawn. And now on the right-hand side, we can see the data model, which I call complex value stream graph networks, because it's a graph network based on a value stream. And it's basically composed of node and edge feature vectors. So each process, each inventory, or each supplier is basically a node, which can be described with different features, which have different expressions. For example, number of employees, cycle time, changeover times, and other KPIs. Now, in direct comparison, you can see the control and information flow on the top-hand side can be depicted, as well as the material and information flow within the process chain. But in reality, improvement teams, of course, as I said, need to consider also external influences, digitization, and also sustainability. This is really hard to draw on just a whiteboard, but this data model enables you to include everything. And therefore, we have on the top hand, we have the external influences. We can include different material flow cost related sustainability KPIs also to be considered, and the data usage basically within the production processes. So this data model, of course, has an intended use. In this case, I constructed as just to showcase how it could be used, and tailored decision transformer architecture, with its task being to predict next action sequences in value stream design, thereby using this specific data model. Within trainings, the states are represented by the data model I just explained. The actions are numerical rewards. The actions are value stream design guidelines, known from research, and the rewards are the gains of the actions applied on these specific states, with associated resource consumption. Within application and industry, an improvement team can now just simply collect data and plot the complex value stream graph net and use it as an input, and then receive as an output optimization sequences for resource efficient value stream design. Now let's into the discussion of advantages, limitations, and implications for generalization. Advantages of the data model itself are that
Okay, thank you, presenter. Thank you for the presentation. Let's at least ask only one question so that we move to another presenter. Any question among the audience, physical one or remote one? No question. Let me ask you a question. Can you define the relevance of your research? Define it clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Because my time is not over. I was at 8 minutes. But okay, of course, I can answer your questions. Yeah, please repeat it again.
Yes, I was saying that you can define clearly the relevance of your research.
Yeah, of course, I was just talking about it. So these data models, as I explained, can be used to approximate production systems. It can generally be applied across various industries, especially in the production of capital and consumer goods. And it's scalable. It can be adapted to small-scale operations, but also to large-scale complex systems.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to another presenter with the topic Internet of Things-based system for real-time monitoring of margarine production process, a case study of Savono in Burundi. The presenter should be probably Ezekiel Nyonzima. The floor is yours.
Yes, I'm chairing.
Start, please. Share the presentation.
Yes, I'm sharing.
It is probable that you have the problem of connection.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm sharing.
we cannot see your presentation. Okay, now start, please.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. I am Ezekiel Nyonzima. I'm going to present my research titled Internet of Things, based system for real-time monitoring of margarine production process. We are with Shubi Kajage, Elizabeth Mukoba, and Bitas Mbunda. I'm going to present from the introduction to the acknowledgement. Basically, from the introduction, margarine is a widely consumed food. Production is typically manufactured from a blend of vegetable oil, water, salt, and emulsifier, requiring meticulous control throughout its production process. So to ensure both optimal quality and yield, the margarine production process involves complex interrelated variables that must be carefully managed. Recent development in technology, particularly the Internet of Things, have shown significant promise in enhancing multiple aspects of industrial processes. In light of this technological advancement, Savon has proposed the development of an IoT-based system for real-time of margarine production process. As a problem statement, currently, the margarine production process at Savon is heavily dependent on manual operations, which introduces several inefficiencies and potential risks. One of the key issues is the absence of automated cooling system. Relying on technology to regulate the temperature, plant managers must manually switch on the fan before production begins. There is no the system in place which can display real-time temperature levels, leaving the managers without any clear way to monitor whether the cooling process is working effectively. Additionally, during production, the plant managers must be constantly present to visually inspect color changes in the margarine. This manual observation is crucial because the color transition to yellow signals when the product is ready for testing. At this point, the plant manager has to physically call the lab personnel to test the product and give approval for further steps. This depends on human observation and communication delays, decision making, and leaves for error. Moreover, if there is a malfunction, such as a fan failure, this will only be discovered after significant time has been wasted. About related works, Canet and all has came up with the wine fermentation monitoring system. This system, they managed to monitor carbonic gas emissions during wine fermentation using IoT technology, installed directly in the fermentation test. However, it overlooks other important factors such as temperature and humidity, which are crucial for accurate control in fermentation. And also, Buonol came up with the beer fermentation monitoring system. They monitor temperature, carbonic gas. With this system, it doesn't include the pH and the gravity sensor. About the materials and the methods, the agile software development method, specifically XP, was used from the problem identification, solution design, and development or evaluation. My data for real-time monitoring of manganese production process integrates several components connected to ESP32 microcontroller, a color sensor, which monitor the manganese color, while the pH sensor tracks the acidity levels and the DHT for temperature. As you can see here, this is the block diagram which shows how the components are stored on the tank. This is the flow chart. On the flow chart, the system flows starts by checking the temperature. If the temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius or higher, the pellet air cooling system is automatically activated to maintain optimal conditions. Simultaneously, the system is collecting data from the pH and the color sensor. If the color sensor detects a yellow and the pH is within the range of 6 to 8, the system sends a notification via email, SMS, and the calls to the lab personnel to initiate the necessary test. However, if the color is yellow, but the pH falls outside this range, the system acknowledges a potential issue and sends to the maintenance personnel to investigate further. This is also the schematic diagram, which show how the components were integrated and everything. This is the test process where I
Okay, thank you, presenter. If there is a question, it can be asked now. Thank you for the presentation. I don't see any question. Let's move. Thank you very much. Let's move to another presenter. The following, we are trying to go as quick as possible because we are running out of time. The presentation is about the topic smart content creation for personalized learning environment using artificial intelligence. The presenter is ready. Kavesh. Yes, Kavesh. Are you ready? Are you ready? The author of this topic is ready. Probably he or she is not ready. Let's follow with another one.
I don't know if are you able to hear me correctly?
Are you ready? Yes.
So this is Rupesh Kevin Sankar for the next one. Smart content creation for personalized learning environments.
Come again.
Yes, start the presentation.
Okay, so let me share my screen and good afternoon, everyone.
Yes. Yes. IT team.
So I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see it correctly?
Yes, start from the beginning. Yes, you can see the screen.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I am Rupesh Kevin Sankar from the University of Mauritius. So my research basically tries to focus on smart content creation for personalized learning environments using AI. So as an agenda, we have like problem statement, aims and objective, existing application, a description of the proposed system, the system architecture, the data set that has been used, and the model and the future works. So as a program statement, it is time consuming to design exercises for learners because learners have to consolidate on what they are learning. So it becomes time consuming to design exercises for learners. So learning is a process that is not like one size fits all. So it's like different students have different learning paces, they have different styles of learning, they learn differently. So this one size fits all learning is not applicable. So as a problem statement, this is important for researchers. So we have like different style of learning, different pace of learning, different learners that are at different levels of knowledge. But when we're designing exercises for the learners, it should be like more personalized. So the aim and objective of this research is to design and implement a web-based application for students by providing them exercises based on the lecture notes. So from the lecture notes, we will be deriving certain exercises, and we have to use artificial intelligence to create like smart concepts. So different levels of users, access for different users. So we have some applications like Duolingo, which is a language learning website, Smart Test, which uses NLP, natural language processing and computer vision. And we can design AI, we use AI for designing the exercises. So our existing system has been taking into consideration the weaknesses of previous systems. So how we can kind of bridge the gap and provide like a more enhanced version of existing system. So the system has two actors. One is the admin, one is the student. And the main part of the system would be to have some registration login process, some learner profile and admin profile. So learner profile is important because we will need to be able to track. So what is the progress of the learner? So over some period of time, what has been the progress? Admin will be able to upload the lectures, learners will be able to complete the exercise, and the system is going to record the marks. So in terms of some kind of system architecture, what we have is the client-server architecture. So client is going to use a web browser, and the server is going to be here, where we're going to send the request to the server. The database is MySQL. Then the data set that has been used is SQUAD, which is Stanford Question Answering Data Set. So it's a span of text from appropriate reading passages which serve as solution to each question in reading comprehension data set, which was compiled by crowd workers from questions on a collection of Wikipedia articles. So the model that was used also is T5 transform. So this is basically an encoder-decoder model that has already been trained on a variety of tasks that are both supervised and unsupervised, and are translated into a text-to-text format. So transfer learning, which involves pre-training on a model on a task with plenty of data before fine-tuning it on a subsequent task, has become a potential method for NLP. So this system has proved to be very interesting in the sense that it has been able to automatically generate exercises based on the lecture notes that were uploaded. So these exercises that are being generated serves as some kind of a consolidation on the contents that is present in the notes. So the students and the learner can use this as some kind of practice. Okay, so future work. So I think I've reached the end of the time. So future work would be level access to different levels of access for different teachers. So different YouTube videos and note summarization. So thank you for your attention. So I will now welcome any question that you have.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Any question? No question. Yes, please. The mic to the one who wanted to ask the question.
Thank you for your presentation, thought-provoking. I'm interested to find out how do you use Duolingo to create technical or ICT-based kind of content? Thank you.
So, thank you for your question. So on Duolingo, I'll go back to the slide. We've not been using Duolingo, but we have been more like inspired from Duolingo. So we've tried to consider some kind of existing systems. So what are existing systems that's going to be like beneficial for us? And we've tried to consider a bit about the strengths and weaknesses of different applications that are already existing, Duolingo. But we've not been using Duolingo, but we've been perhaps inspired by Duolingo, trying to get the positive things that you have in Duolingo and trying to apply this in our system. Just like another one, which is like smart tests. Okay, so we've been inspired. So we've considered like existing systems, and we've tried to derive and to come up with one that is having perhaps the strength of Duolingo and smart tests. Which is interesting in the sense that the one that we derive is more like it provides a learner with different categories of exercises. And like I was mentioning, we have like a one size fits all doesn't apply in the learning process. So we cannot assume that a learner that has certain skills and aptitude would be the same as another learner. So that's why the application that we have developed is going to generate exercises according to the aptitude of the learner. Okay, so we've been a bit inspired by both Duolingo and smart tests, but we have not been using Duolingo. I hope this answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that all the questions, other questions, if they are there, they can be asked later. Let's follow with the other presenter. The topic is the interconnection between artificial intelligence and the film industry. Yes, I think he will present physically.
Okay. So the slides, you cannot see the slides. Hello. Yeah, I think someone is sharing my slides. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. My name is Paul Atena. I'm waiting for the slides to appear. Or should I continue the chair?
No, wait a bit so that the slides will be displayed there.
I've already connected. Yes.
have shared actually. He's supposed to. How? Oh, I log in. I was listening offline. I can. Yes, I log in. If it's gonna take long, I think I just need to log in. You can get. Yes, I have no problem.
Okay, probably while they are settling their devices, if the last presenter can avail his or her presentation, as that it is an ML for developing countries review and future directions. Is it you? Okay, start now.
Okay, so my name is Paul Latenya. I'm presenting on the interconnection between artificial intelligence and the film industry. My university is University of Lee Adventist to explore how this advancement of AI contribute to the sustainable development goals, which is something I'll talk about in a few. The problem statement for this study, we were dwelling so much on some of the areas that we feel as filmmakers are not tackled much by other scholars when it comes to how AI has improved in the area of filmmaking, especially how AI has affected or impacted SDGs, and also looking at information and technology, which is part of the theme of this conference. So part of the literature review, we discovered that most studies show that AI is being used in various stages of filmmaking, including screenwriting, which is part of the pre-production, and also casting, which is also part of pre-production, where filmmakers do their preparations on what they're supposed to do, and they go to production, and then they go to the post-production. When you look at editing, it is also seen that AI has come to help a lot when it comes to editing videos. And as you can see on this illustration, you can see AI has come to generate various things such as visual content. This is where we are able to create even visual virtual environments where we can help a lot to conserve the environment, avoiding any harm that may be caused by using the physical environment. When you talk of text generation, this is where script writing comes in. It can help us to generate scripts, which are very, very important when it comes to creating narrative for films. When you talk of audio generation, this is something that we usually enjoy a lot when we are watching films, and we found that AI has come very much to help when it comes to generating audio based on the audience expectation and also the information it's supposed to serve. Talk of information, emotions, and other visual narrative elements. When you talk of code generation, this is mostly in editing, in the post-production, which is the third phase of filmmaking, where when it comes to editing, rendering, AI has come to help a lot when it comes to editing videos, making it very easy, and which is helping to increase the quality of the video produced. Sorry, my slides are stuck. Hey. Okay, sorry. So for the methodology, the study did use The study used a qualitative approach using case studies, which we discovered when we were looking at the literature review. And the data was analyzed using thematic analysis, where we saw areas where sustainable development goals were very well encouraged and also impacted by the AI integration in film. Some of the results, when we were looking at it, we found that in pre-production, AI has come out very well when it comes to script development. We have AI tools like Scriptbook, which helps to analyze scripts, identify character arcs, and also audience engagement, which has come to help a lot when it comes to develop script for films. When it comes to casting, this is something that is usually done mostly in a typical manner, where we use stereotypic nature, but AI has come up with the tools like Casting Droid, which can help to identify actors who best fit various roles, and this has helped to reduce biases, which is in line with the SDG number 5, which talks about gender equality. And a good example is Script Hope, which predicts also the audience response in certain narratives. And this is also so much in line with the SDG. And as a filmmaker, it's something that has come to change a great deal. When you move to production, where the filmmakers implement what they had prepared in the pre-production, we find that AI has come in when it comes to cinematography. We have now cameras that come with various AI controls, which can help to control movement, lighting, composition, and all these have come to ease the work of the DOP or the director of photography when it comes to filming. Another thing, when you talk of motion captures, some of these things that we see on TVs, on films that don't exist in real time, they are all made easy by the artificial intelligence, which has come to change even how we view the film in the current setting. When we think about sustainability and the impact of this influence of AI in film, we find that reducing on location or physical environment when it comes to filming, this has a very...
Thank you very much for the presentation. Let me ask you one question. Considering the advancements of the computer science, ICT in general, what is the novelty of your research?
Okay, thank you so much. Here we're talking about softwares that are used in AI, and here we talk of machine learning algorithms, which are so much impactful when it comes to IT. When you talk of predicting the audience expectation for specific film, AI uses machine learning and also data analytics to assess the previous films that were successful and which type of stories were used. So this one guides filmmakers on how they can adapt to those storylines that were very well successful. And this one, it makes it very easy for them to adjust their scripts. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question, if there is there any? No question. Yes, thank you very much. Let's follow with
thank you.
Gibson, if he's ready for online presentation. Gibson, are you ready? 10 ml for developing countries, review and the future directions. Are you ready? Are you ready? Probably no. Probably no. Yesterday, someone didn't present. The topic was performance metrics analysis of 5G networks using the device-to-device technology in mobile application. The author was Jean Damascene Mushimiyimana. Is he ready? Is he ready? Okay, I see that probably other authors are not ready for the presentation. Okay, let's stop our presentations. If possible, for those who are in this room, let's grab to the presenters. Thank you for the work done. We wish you the best. And first of all, we wish to see your results presented in the Springer publisher. And we wish that your discoveries be useful for the world, and you discover more and more and more. Thank you very much. Let's go in the main room.